Hey, welcome to With Love, Misty. I'm Misty. This is episode 14 of Vibrate Higher Daily by Layla Delia. I've been reading this book and it's been a wonderful journey. If you are new here and this is your first time seeing me or this reading, please catch up. I created a playlist, Vibrate Higher Daily playlist, so you can catch up. And if you plan on catching up, please grab a journal because there's some self assessments that she does in the beginning of the book that are so helpful, that help you through the book. And journaling is super healing. And I definitely will delve more into that later. But welcome. How's your heart? How's your soul? How's your spirit? I know I'm asking you that. I do my best to hold a little space for you. I feel like reading this book is holding some space. You can comment, send messages. I know that we're all in a different journey, on a different journey. And these messages affect us all differently. So hopefully this finds you at a place in your life where you want to vibrate higher. I know I'm at a space where, listen, I feel like I'm healing, I'm grieving, I'm still proud of myself. I'm in gratitude but grief at the same time. My mom transitioned, my sister transitioned a while, grandpa, just people, losing people, and and also dying to my old self. That's something within itself. So I will delve deeper into that in the talk back. I always try my best to do a talk back after each episode so we can really talk about it. As I say, let's talk about it. So, um, I did say in the beginning of this, let's heal together, let's grow together. I'm going to be honest with you. What makes this fun, and I always say, oh, I put my lip gloss on, I got to doll up a little bit. And showing up is not always easy. I'm showing up today. I showed up for myself by showing up to create this content and video and finish it because I don't know if it's only one person that's listening to this book. I feel an obligation to show up for you and hold that space for you. Sometimes we don't show up for ourselves, but we will show up for others. So um, I'm here. Today wasn't an easy day to show up, but I can't, it may look good because it's fun to put yourself together, but it's the inside that I'm working on. It's those ashes that I'm working on rising above and vibrating higher from, and, you know, the left hooks that life can throw you at some point in time. But we're going to get into the book. I just want to say, as a disclaimer, this is raw, uncut, it's not edited. So bear with me. Sometimes I sound like I'm hooked on phonics, but for the most part, you get the message. I make sure to go back to it. So I hope that you have your journals, and if not, a notepad or pen and paper or something. So you don't have it now, just grab one and then come back. All of the episodes will be in the playlist. We are on page 190 of Vibrate Higher Daily. Let's go. The bell. You've most likely at some point reached that universal place where you're wondering whether there's more to life than this. And thank the divine, because assuredly there is. And it is beckoning and summoning you forward through your reconfiguration onward into living your power and your purpose in this world. I've experienced the call as a bell that rings through vibrations and is present in the innermost depths of my soul. I've experienced the call as a bell that rings through vibrations and is present in the innermost depths of my soul. It's always right on time and signals me into action. It's always right on time and signals me into action. Our mission as conduits is to recognize the bell and turn ourselves towards it, signaling and purpose. Our mission as conduits is to recognize the bell and turn over ourselves towards its signaling and purpose. Whether it's the loud bell tower built strong and high within ourselves or the melodious bells hanging in the peaceful inner temple of our soul, the bell is symbolic of a higher call to action and service. It's a signal of many things. It's a signal to shift in mindset. It's a call to peace or prayer. It's a signal or a call for protection from our higher power. It's a mission and assignment into courage and purpose. Through observation and awareness, you'll feel it. You'll know. When I hear the bell, either I take comfort knowing there's a spiritual support and protection in my life, or I know I'm being signaled into a higher duty and action. When I hear the bell, either I take comfort knowing there is spiritual support and protection in my life, or I know I'm being signaled into a higher duty and action. This call to action or service may be to hold compassion and sympathy for someone, to offer a helping hand somewhere, to do or not do a certain thing, or to open up to being a conduit and vessel. Even before I was aware of the power of vibrations, I knew the power of service. When I spent time in the South with my family as a young girl, I often joined my beloved step grandmother, endearingly referred to her. I'm going to go back. I often joined my beloved step grandmother, endearingly referred to in true Black folk Southern fashion as Mama Pug. I think this calls for me to go back and read this all over again because that lead up is so cute. Even before I was aware of the power of vibrations, I knew the power of service. When I spent time in the South with my family as a young girl, I often joined my beloved step grandmother, endearingly referred to in true Black folk Southern fashion as Mama Pug. As she delivered breakfast or dinner plates to the sick, shut in, and homebound, this was how Mama Pug spread love and lived her faith out in the world. One of my favorite people to visit with her was Miss Opie, a sweet and frail and elderly widow living across the street. I would help Mama Pug clean, straighten up, feed the cat, wash the dishes, and help Miss Opie get dressed. Sometimes Miss Opie encouraged me to play dress up in her glamorous clothes and jewels of old. Her beautiful things told sweet stories to my soul, as if they were all alive. Mama Pug helped the other people in the community too. No one went unloved, unfed, or uncared for on her watch. Mama Pug's love created a ripple effect that had impacted my spirit, soul, and consciousness in a mighty way. Those days serving with Mama Pug when I was a young girl embedded a love and seed of caring for others that remains housed within me still. And it's activated today whenever I hear the bell. We all hear the bell for different reasons. Maybe a dark night of the soul brought you to discovering your soul mission to serve. Maybe a relationship or experience inspired a higher shift in your focus and being. Or perhaps the shift is because the redemption you're seeking for the past. Whatever it is, what called you also made certain you arrived on time and on cue. This is a universe of mathematical precision and order. You are initiated most often not by choice, but because a divine path has been set before you. You are initiated most often not by choice, but because a divine path has been set before you. When you have risen above this path When you have risen above, this path transfigures you through the process. This path transfigures you through the process. So you come out energized, passionate, qualified, and fortified. As you develop more wholly, becoming capable of functioning at higher potentials and rising above the various vibrations and terrains of life, you, the hero, set out on your own specific path of higher purpose and work in the world. Your path, your influence, and your expression can be big or small, seen and unseen. You've got a new power, a higher vibrational power, now living in and through you, and all you do that unquestionably sets you apart from your former self. It's given many names around the world, and all point towards the same thing: reconfiguration, rebirth, nirvana, awakening, transcendence, transformation, and higher purpose. Removing the unnecessary armor. Becoming a teacher for others, healing our surroundings, and gaining some sort of recognition for our wisdom or gifts alone do not make our wellness or spiritual mission complete. True wellness and higher mission must include the shift into higher aspects of human character, which requires either dismantling or mastering our ego and its many guards and embracing something stronger. Kindness. True wellness and higher mission must include the shift into higher aspects of human character, which requires either dismantling or mastering our ego and its many guards and embracing something stronger. Kindness. Living in vibrational awareness and harmony means surrendering to your kinder, high-roaded mind self. But don't confuse this with powerlessness. You can still be kind while being assertive and fierce. Think of the Shaolin monks, Buddhist monks in China, known for their extraordinary fighting skills, self-mastery, and endurance. As monks, they are kind and courteous warrior beings who honor integrity, yet they are also fiercely powerful beyond measure and logic. Kindness knows when to stand down and when to stand firm, when to put energy and strength out and when to maintain and hold it within. Showing a gentle yet aware character doesn't mean becoming a pushover or being overly vulnerable. It means not allowing your lower vibrations or the actions of others to make you an energetic puppet whose strings are pulled any way but any which way. You become poised and the master of yourself and your actions. Along the same lines, being powerful and being mean are not the same thing. Although it may be a coping mechanism or defense mechanism to send out vibrations of meanness, envy, bitterness, apathy, and ill will, this is neither kindness nor power. It's instant gratification and gives a false sense of power. Where has your character taken you? Where is it steering you? Embodying the spiritual creative. At this stage in your journey, you have widened your lens beyond self-focused growth. At this stage in your journey, you have widened your lens beyond self-focused growth. Vibrational awareness has taught you that you are not a single isolated being, but are connected to all things. As you grow in the awareness and mature in your role as a giver to the greater good, notice how a higher spirit and power moves through and calls you. On my journey, this higher spirit moved me to tap into creative energies, particularly through my writing and poetry that offer encouragement and higher intentions. It began as something I did on an impulse. As it jolted into action, it was free and out of pure passion and love. I started out cathartically writing for myself, and now I share those writings openly as a conduit to help others. I had no clue that my writing and work would take on this life of its own and become the full-fledged career path that it is. I simply began where I could, where I felt called, and showed up daily as a vessel and creative. I had to. The force of the current moving through you has to be channeled into right action, or what you feel won't feel good. It's a living energy that comes through you as the vessel and conduit in order to be released out of you. Actualize your gifts. Answer the bell. Whenever I went against this, my vibrations and health suffered. And I'm not alone in this. It's a common occurrence. Doing your thing by living it, and I'm not alone in this. It is a common occurrence. Doing your thing by living your power is an essential part of how you thrive on all levels. Spiritual creatives know that their power comes from a higher source, that their gifts are not their own. And their daily comings, goings, and vibrations are connected to their art forms. They know that they are alone cannot or do not create the work, but the work is created through them as an instrument, messenger, and vessel. Spiritual creatives don't create without first seeking and connecting to their higher power in a personally sacred way. Sidebar, amen. The creative gift and work are sensed and held sacred. The work environment is held sacred. The work of spiritual creatives is not comprised to feed the ego or to fit into a culture that causes people to lose their power and fall out of higher vibrational alignment. That was horrible. Let me go back and be a lot kinder to myself during this read. The work of spiritual creatives is not comprised to feed the ego or to fit into a culture that causes people to lose their power and fall out of higher vibrational alignment. The work is to harmonize and align souls into higher vibrational beings. It is the divine expressing itself through its creation and vessel. When I think of my favorite spiritual creatives, I quickly think of the vibrational lifting band, Earth, Wind, and Fire. They see their work as spiritual work. Their songs are not only rhythmic and innovative, they're also soulful affirmations of empowerment and higher intentions. One of my favorite songs of theirs, Spread Your Love, has been a powerful anthem for me as a conduit among many other songs of theirs. As spiritual creatives, we know that vibrational awareness in our work matters. We know that vibrational awareness in our work truly matters. We have the power to use our gifts to encourage to others to rise up and build up. Whatever your calling, mission, gift, or area of service, spread high vibrations through it. The world so needs that. Inspiration is vital to the spiritual creative, but at times it can come and go in waves. During times of low creative activity, the spiritual creative can turn to things such as self-care, taking time out to play or rest, time spent in nature, seeking spiritual nourishment, and doing more of what harmonizes the soul. These activities or organically re-energize and refresh the creative spirit, drawing inspiration back in again and again. A time of solace for spiritual journeying. On days when the world is too overwhelming to live in and create in, slow down and breathe deeply in order to calm your mind and nervous system and connect and root into your higher source and place of strength. We've watched a place where it can appear like we don't need a higher spiritual connection and reverence for it. Maybe it's being neutralized out of our wider culture. Maybe it's being neutralized out of our wider culture. But the great thing is that we are pre wired for it and can always return home. We can always return home to it and to its and to its necessary stabilizing and empowering current and vibration. I'm going to read that again. But the great thing is that we are pre wired for it and can always return home to it and to its necessary stabilizing and empowering current and vibration. The movement. As we tend to the garden of our inner life, we simultaneously act in concert with others doing the same work, and collectively we harmonize toward a higher common good and goal. The marvelous thing about a collective world is that as we each vibrate higher together, we can go further to serve a greater purpose. I believe we are now experiencing a vibrational awakening, liberation, and movement. We are answering the call for a more fortifying and sustainable way of living so we can grow beyond what we have become. As a species, we must evolve into a higher expression of humankind. Throughout time, many movements have helped the work progress. The Renaissance, the Scientific Revolution, the Great Awakening, the Abolitionist Movement, the Harlem Renaissance, the Women's Right Movement, the Women's Rights Movement, the Civil Rights Movement, the Black Liberation Movement, the Chicano Movement, La Raza, the environmental movement, among others. Without these collective movements, we never would have progressed to where we are now. Without these collective movements, we never would have progressed to where we are now. Progressed. Similarly, today we are seeing the world differently and no longer accept the status quo as the best we can do. Inequality is not the best we can do. Prejudice is not the best we can do. Institutional racism is not the best we can do. Abusing power is not the best we can do. Low vibrational media, entertainment, culture, and food are not the best we can do. Old systems and old beliefs that have held the world together are disintegrating. In their place is the growing understanding that the threads of energy connect all things, and when we harm other people and the environment, all are harmed. The truth has always been present, but now with vibrational awareness of how everything is interconnected, we were able to fully see and share the awareness. Are you extending far and wide enough? Like other great periods of change, we're journeying together towards something better, with questions and increasing concerns for our times. We know that something has to shift and that the tides have to turn. They always turn, individually and collectively, in small towns and big cities. We're showing up and taking our place to make sure that the tides turn. Community showing up. What does this movement look like? It looks like individual people cooperatively coming together to foster sustainable, higher vibrational spaces and provide support to the world. My bonus grandparents, Mama Pug and Daddy Tom, are bright examples of this support system. They are trustees and elders at their church, the same church that my family and I went to when I was growing up. After my mother died, Mama Pug and Daddy Tom rallied the community church to send bereavement funds to me and my siblings, along with a personal card. Holding the bereavement card and gift, which was written out by the very people I had sung and prayed with as a young girl, I realized I had moved full circle. Mama Pug and Daddy Tom and the other church elders truly lived out songs of love and service in their community. I was touched so deeply by this community experience because it was a reminder of the family and spiritual community that I am still connected to. Both my sister and I were so in need of this kind of supportive healing and heart centered community at that time. Being the steadfast conduit that she is, Mama Pug walked in with her whole heart. We all need a safe and snug place to heal and grow so that we can come into our full being. Vibrational based living helps us see how powerful the right daily routines and environments can be. Social change begins on a community level. Be someone who helps create space where others can have a nourishing meal, a sense of safety and community, a heart healing talk, a laughing good time, a soul hug, or a restorative moment. We all need a safe place to go where we can soften ourselves. We all need a safe place to go where we can soften ourselves. A place we can go when life hurts or is confusing. A place where we don't have to have it all together or know the way forward. A safe place where we can say, this is my life, help me with it, and show me the way. These are the type of intentional spaces that can heal whole communities and that are so vitally necessary. Take the community higher. Deliberate changes in high vibrational communities allows people who are living under the influence of low vibrational environments to have access to what will help set them free and place them on a higher vibrational path, a higher potential path. As a spiritual and wellness guide and educator, I've learned that there are many ways to foster high energies. These many ways are through moral support, so that spirit and emotional care are priorities and conduits, through mindfulness training and stress reduction workshops, so that both mental and wellness are conduits of balance, through healthier food options, so that higher vibrational eating is a conduit for equal thriving, wellness, and healing, through more green spaces, so that nature is a conduit, through character education, so that self development and character building are conduits, through life skills training, so that essential and effective life skills for facing events, environments, challenges, and traumas are conduits, through high grade educational curricula, healthcare, and wellness centers to foster meaningful, whole, and mission driven lives. Communities that have resources can safely grow in a higher direction. Be a part of necessary positive change in marginalized and underserved communities and help people there to vibrate higher daily, live their power, and change the game. This community level vibrational change, just like the individual level vibrational change, is about daily choices. Let me read that again. This community level vibrational change, just like individual level vibrational change, is about daily choices. Together, these choices amplify. Vibrational literacy. Another strategy for larger change is to increase our vibrational literacy, which means understanding how things have productive and destructive benefits. Let me read that again. Another strategy for larger change is to increase our vibrational literacy, which means understanding how things have productive and destructive effects. The type of things we support in life matter. Business, schools, communities, products, creative offerings, and the overall economy. Years ago in downtown Los Angeles' iconic Chinatown neighborhood, Walmart planned to open a new superstore. Let's just say the community wasn't having it. at all. People rallied together and made a fuss and eventually won. No Walmart in downtown LA. Walmart instead had to come up with a plan B that would not displace so many local merchants. So the company built a smaller, quainter store called Walmart Neighborhood Market on the outskirts of downtown. Imagine, if you will, this same type of collective power and mass energy being applied to blocking unhealthy food chains in our inner city communities, or toward demanding a vibrational shift in higher standards in the educational system, the media, or the entertainment industry. Collective power and action for good matter and work. So choose what you support wisely and share vibrational literacy so those in your community can live in their inherent power. Environmental wellness. This current vibrational movement towards a greater awareness, which acknowledges that we are part of something happening that is much larger than ourselves, is incomplete without acknowledging the state of the environment and earth. The current vibrational movement toward a greater awareness, which acknowledges that we are a part of something happening that is much larger than ourselves, is incomplete without acknowledging the state of the environment and the earth. Vibrational based living opens our eyes to the wider web of all creation. We learn through this lens that we are but one piece of it, and both we and the web are dependent on each other. Honoring and revering the earth as our home is a must in order to sustain larger vibrational change. We are divinely appointed caretakers of this world, so it's important to consider the vibrational impact we make and leave behind. We must ask ourselves, will we uphold our watch and role in raising the collective vibration of this world and time we live in? The need is real. Every day, humankind is desecrating the earth, placing toxins in the air and water, depleting the soil of nutrients, polluting the oceans, emitting greenhouse gases, which destroy the ozone layer, and threatening species and populations of all sorts, struggling to survive our modern times. Nature is crying out, and it's counting on us to do better, to vibrate higher, to live in awareness, and to be good, better stewards and fellow inhabitants of this earth. The world and environment we live in make deep impressions on us all. We are a product of our environment. Every day we journey through invisible fields of energies that connect us to the earth, one another, the cosmos, and beyond. Remembering this interconnectedness is key to healing the world, to healing the earth. When we help the earth, we help ourselves and others. By helping to raise our own vibrations, we contribute harmony and balance to this shared and I'm sorry. By helping to raise our vibration, we contribute harmony and balance to this shared and unified field. We must be and remain ecosystem minded. This could look like having greater reverence for nature and all of the world. It could be like taking only what you need from the environment, living in greater harmony with it, and being protectors of it, as many indigenous creatures have done and teach. Let me read that again. This could look like having greater reverence for nature and all of the world. It could look like taking only what we need from the environment, living in greater harmony with it, and being protectors of it, as many indigenous cultures have done and teach. It can also look like making a mindful effort not to litter, or by supporting environmentally friendly companies and brands. What we collectively support sends out a powerful message. Onward. Change the game. Vibrating higher daily is a lifelong practice, both private and collective. Once you have become in tune with what feeds you and what drains you, you become empowered to choose what impacts your daily life. As we collectively gain this awareness and mindset, social change becomes possible. We can change the game. Power used for vibrational control has been the cause of many problems in the world. More, bigger, and faster are not always better, and they are not always in alignment with the Earth's natural rhythms or with the good vibrations that comfort and nurture us. Corrupted power disrupts the flow of high vibrations. The answer to correcting a history of abuse of power is for us to each live our higher power, one that honors the earth and its offspring. Each day you receive an invitation to vibrate higher. It all starts within. The most profound and necessary work begins within each of us. The best use and management of our power will always lead toward the higher road and higher vibrations of all concerned. We must ask ourselves, how are we each governing ourselves and our vibration? How are we each applying the energy and forces of power, dominance, influence, and control in our day-to-day lives and towards others? How and where are we applying the forces of peace, higher intentions, unity, humanity, love, and harmony in our day-to-day lives? Reflections. How do you become aware of the vibrational harm being done to the earth, to ourselves, and to others? In what areas can you become more educated and cultured? What parts of your community nurture and foster love, support, and high vibrational power? How can you get involved? What gifts do you offer your community or another community? In other words, how will you live your power in service to the world around you? How will you vibrate higher daily and live in your power? I will finish off with these quotes. Revolutionaries and heroes never left it up to the system to fix or create the solution. They became the solution. To all of the things that help set us free to vibrate higher daily, to all of the things that help set us free to vibrate higher daily, thank you. A letter of epilogue. Dearest one reading this, I would like to close with a soul letter for the journey ahead, like a remote outpost in the desert. It stands as an isolated and fortifying area of support for your journey. It's here to lighten the rough times that can spring up like weeds in a garden along the way and remind you that I'm here, in it, and through it all with you. Full embodiment and vibrational-based living makes all the difference. This is where you go from doing it to being it. I invite you to make it a daily practice instead of keeping it as a separate or occasional part of yourself and life. I invite you to make it a daily practice instead of keeping it as a separate or occasional part of yourself and your life. When you do this, vibrational awareness becomes all-encompassing in your life and on your unique path in both the good times and the not so good times. After a while, a point will come where it doesn't matter what's going on around you, terrains, weather, or other circumstances, because you are anchored in higher and prevailing awareness that increases your ability to vibrate higher daily and live in your power. Wherever you start each day, whatever spiritual goals you attain, whatever visions you dream up and desires to foster and bring about, whatever your personal progress or change you desire to see through, and whatever vibrational life you aim to sustain, this book is here with you as a companion. This book is here with you as a companion. This book is here to journey with you as a companion. I offer you these closing reminders to keep with you on your path. I offer these closing reminders to keep with you on your path. Keep a healthy problem solving mindset on the journey ahead of you. Troubleshoot when and where necessary to identify problems, to seek positive energy, people, and intentions, and to know what you need to steer away from, move from, or let go of. Create a path of action. Keep a journal or create a document that takes notes of what's healing you currently and what's causing disharmony. Keep a journal or create a document that takes notes of what's healing you currently and what's causing you disharmony. What are any current pain points or blockages? What is helping you fortify and thrive? Stay mindful of different vibrational causes and effects. Communicate with your journal often. Know when to go alone and when to call in reinforcement. Your reinforcers could be people, practices, or items that offer you support, protection, and accountability. Remember to breathe. On days when stress, illness, or particular problems absorb you and you're not feeling like yourself, breathe. Breathe deeply and take all the time you need to feel like your empowered self again. When you feel powerless, remember that the terrains and weather are challenging you out of your comfort zone and into your higher potential and purpose. When you feel powerless, remember that the terrains and weather are challenging you out of your comfort zone and into your higher potential and purpose. Tend to your wear and tear along the way, as all great journeys produce them. Take time and slow down when necessary. Even when your role as a conduit gets difficult, remember there is always room for you. You are vital to furthering high vibrations in the world. Come back to the pages of this book as needed and make them a space where you can exhale in grace and maintain your course. May this book, like a form of gravity, keep you from spiraling too far away from yourself and from your past, your goals, mission, purpose, and higher intentions. Stay with it, or come back to a chapter, a section, a reflection, or a practice that you need more time with. Stay with it, or come back to a chapter, a section, a reflection, or a practice that you need more time with. There's no rush. When you surrender to divine timing and to the necessary process, you'll realize that you're in good hands, the right hands. Seek to journey in awareness, grace, and power each day as you fervently grow and unfold even more into yourself and your purpose. Continue the divine course and purpose set before you. Now let some of the best times of your life begin. From my whole heart, Layla Delia, Los Angeles, California, Planet Earth, aka Earth School. That's the end. Okay. Wow. Definitely pick up a journal. And I do find that this book is so much like a handbook. There's definitely references. Mine is all marked up. I will definitely be going back through, making my notes, and using it as I vibrate higher daily. I definitely need these daily practices, and I have to get better with my journaling. I feel like when the purge comes up and you're not feeling so comfortable, sometimes you don't even want to put it on paper, but there's a cathartic thing in actually transferring your thoughts to paper. It gets it out of your body, off of your body. So I will go into a little more in the talk back. I will read all of the quotes that I passed over during the chapter. So I hope you are able to catch up with all of the other episodes. I hope that this inspires you to vibrate a little higher in your life, little by little, poco a poco, daily. Until next time, tap in with yourself and see how you feel. Take inventory with how you feel and be aware of it. And once we become aware, we can shift that. I'm here holding space for you with all of the love in the world. Until next time, love you, Misty.